Hey everyone, it's Dr. Michelle here with today's Clarity Moment Devotional, where every week we think through a question related to growing as a disciple of Jesus Christ. And we use questions because questions are great tools for learning, for discovery, for clarity, and they can help us to sort through the massive amount of information we encounter daily and also to process the many thoughts that we have. So let's jump into today's devotional question, and it is, what is worship? What comes to mind when you think of worship? For many, it revolves around the arts, mainly singing. We think of genres and styles and forms and experiences, often focusing on us as individuals and our personal or cultural preferences. But what else is there? Some years ago, in many church circles, there was a famous phrase: worship is more than a song, it is a lifestyle. And this phrase began to challenge the popular view of worship as only arts related. But what does the word lifestyle mean in this context? How do you understand worship as a lifestyle? What does it involve? And what is required? Who determines what an acceptable offering of worship is? Well, to find our answer, let's turn to scripture. Romans chapter 12, verses 1 to 2 read, "And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of the world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, what is good and pleasing and perfect." In the call to worship God, the true and living God, we go to his word to discover the worship that he asks for. We must find his description of what pleases him. He sets the requirements and we comply. And this is what Paul explains as he writes this to the believers in Rome. Often when we think of worshiping God and serving him, we can think of either activity in a church building or on a mission field, a place where we share the love of God and we serve those who may be in need of aid. And both of them, they're parts of the equation. But listen, there is more. Here in these few scriptures that I read today, we learn about the essence of worship. Worship, that which we do to ascribe worth and esteem and honor to God, involves sacrifice. And that sacrifice is you. And that sacrifice is me. Yes, God hears our songs, he sees our expressions, and he knows our words, but he is always looking beyond what we do and what we say to the attitude or the posture of our hearts. It is the giving of one's life, one's heart to God, and submitting one's way to him that genuinely honors him and makes way for a lifestyle of worship. He wants and deserves a whole life lived out for him where he gets first place, top priority, utmost preference, and full attention in private and in public. And a life lived out for God involves partnering with him for personal transformation, a transformation of the heart and the mind that shapes our internal world and then impacts the world at large. Over the next few weeks, I will be sharing on the theme of transformation and what it looks like not to copy the behavior and customs of this world, but to let God transform us into new people by changing the way we think. And I invite you to join me on what is going to be an impactful, insightful, and empowering journey. God has called us to live a one life, where every aspect of our existence is brought under the leadership of Jesus Christ. And that, my friend, includes everything. We have been given life as a gift, and we are called to steward or manage resources well. We are to partner with the plans of God. To worship God is to present ourselves to him and to be transformed. This is the key to living the abundant life of faith in God. And listen, there is great joy in this life. So join me for the next few weeks as we go deeper into the heart of worship, a life of transformation. Be blessed.